My name is Caroline Poynton from Manchester Bury, and I like this lady. And I'm going to record this because it's quite important, actually, in some things that I've actually been saying as well about things. And unless, like you're saying, less people start coming together and try and put like colour, race, religion, and things to a side a little bit, and try and think of some positive sides that maybe, that we can be friends and we don't have to harm each other and kill each other and be all like them things. And I like this lady. And this does go with a lot of narratives of things of what really is going on in some ways. And God bless you. Thank you.
Oh, look, guys, I found a peaceful Muslim.
A peaceful
All I can
Muslim.
say is offended by everything, ashamed of nothing.
You know the drill. Pause the video, make yourself try, because we are just about to talk about Lubna Fareedi, the former apprentice star. Lubna recently appeared on far-right news channel Talk TV, where she decided that she was going to be an apologist for the Muslim community. Let me read her quote for you. I don't speak for every single Muslim. I only speak for myself. So look, started off well. That God, only for herself, does not represent me or millions of other Muslims in this country. Let's go on with the quote. But I feel I need to apologize on behalf of all Muslims in this country. I'm sorry, Lubna, I'm sorry. Did I give you permission to apologize on my behalf? Oh,
right, I'm going to pause this nutcase. First of all, the reason why I went there was because I was invited, and it's a very, very sensitive topic, right? Because someone from the Muslim community has tried to kill Jewish people in their holy place on a holy day. The fact that she is now overacting and doing all these things shows that she doesn't care about that at all.
Yeah, and
secondly, it's hilarious that she herself read out my statement where I clearly say that I do not represent Muslims. And that's why afterwards, the second sentence, I said, I feel as if I need to apologize. I never said I apologize on behalf of Muslims. I never said all Muslims need to apologize. I said, I feel as if I need to apologize. But the sentence before that was that I do not represent all Muslims. Obviously, there's like 1.5 billion Muslims in the world, and I don't know how many millions in the UK. No one person or even a group of people could represent a whole community, and I've never claimed to. It's ridiculous.
Oh, she's talking about you.
And it's interesting that she's saying that the far right channel Talk TV, because her friend Bushra has also gone on those channels, but none of these Muslims had an issue with her going on those channels. And also there are other Muslims, hijabi Muslims, going on Talk TV and GB News. None of these Muslim apologists have called out those Muslims for going on those shows. Is it because these Muslims were saying what you want to hear?
To the no, to the no. And then she goes on to say, anti-Semitism is rife in the Muslim countries. So let's dissect everything that Lubna had to say. Point number one, no Muslim has sanctioned Lubna to be a spokesperson. She has no credence and no respect in the Muslim community. We do not claim her. South Asians do not claim her.
It's interesting how she has all of a sudden assumed to be the representative of all Muslims and all Pakistanis. All of a sudden. No one person can represent a whole group of people.
No.
I would say the Pakistani community in general around the world have no respect, and I'm not looking for these people to respect me. I would say they need to learn to respect themselves first, and then have the self-respect and decency to be honest about the issues in the community instead of covering each other's back. And then looking complicit, and then complaining when people can tell that we're being complicit.
Yeah, but it's just not helping anyone.
Made to make a collective apology
it's not helping
in regards
anybody.
to
It's
the
not
actions
helping
of one
anybody.
crazy
It's not
person.
helping
We do
Muslims,
not see
English.
Jewish people being
It's
asked to
not
come on
helping
television
helping
and to
anybody,
denounce the
is it?
actions of Israel. We do not see Indian people being made to come on the television to denounce the actions of India against Muslims. See white Christians having to come on television to condemn the actions of the far right or the MAGAs in America. No, but somehow, while we are being persecuted, while we are being slaughtered, while we are being oppressed, we are made to condemn the actions of other Muslims constantly. We have to be there on our hands and knees, constantly begging for forgiveness and for acceptance. Hell to the no, to the no.
Oh my God, this woman is completely crazy. Who has asked Muslims to come and give a collective apology? Nobody. I said, I feel as if I need to apologize on behalf of the Muslims because I know that most Muslims are as crazy as this lady. This is the thinking, this is the mentality, guys. I would like to ask all non-Muslim people in the UK, would you rather have someone like me living here or someone like this person, this thing, whatever you want to call her. Sadly, her mentality is a mentality that the majority of Muslims and Pakistanis have. It is extremely scary. And in fairness to people of all other faiths, they have had generally the decency to come out and condemn the bad apples within the community. Sadly, I don't see the same thing, or at least to that extent within people from my faith and background. Sadly.
But now, anti-Semitism is not rife in the Muslim community. What is rife is anti-Islam, anti-Zionist rhetoric, because there is a genocide going on. There are innocent men, women, and children being slaughtered. And look now, you couldn't open the book and have on that Facebook to talk about that. You couldn't come out to talk about the fact that Muslim people are being demonized in this country. You couldn't come on Talk TV to talk about the imams that have been slapped, to talk about the mosques that have been attacked, the individual Muslim men and women that have been attacked in this country. You took the patient. You are the president of the week. And before we were founding this company, please do the fact that it is considered satire for a brown woman to call another brown woman a coconut. It has been proven in a court rule. And do you know what? Even Bushra agrees.
Yeah, in a grown-up lady,
coconut of the week. Moving on. We do not want you to speak for us. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Now, I would like to debunk this crazy nutcase's claims one by one. Anti-Semitism within the Muslim community. Please watch this.
That you were taught that because of a handful of Jews who were mistreating Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that means that I should hate Jacob or Yaakov in New York, or Micah in Washington, or David in Manhattan. What does this have to do with these individuals? So I remember that in school, when you ask your teacher, why do we hate Jews? Oh, you know what they did to Prophet Moses? Oh, you know what they did to Prophet Muhammad? What does Micah have to do with this? What does David in New Jersey have to do with this? You know? And then, of course, you have the falsehood that says, we don't hate Jews, we hate the Zionists. And I will come to that in the proper time. But, of course, because we don't know much about the Jewish people, I will not deny that I had prior knowledge of the Jewish people before 2010, but it was knowledge based on their adversaries. The Muslim scholars who kept criticizing the Jews, they told us that they would be the authentic source to teach us about Judaism, and they found out that this is false.
So that is the candid, honest truth, which a lot of these people who are saying that we're against Zionism, will never be able to admit and accept that they are actually, a lot of them are anti-Semitic. And they've packaged it as, we're anti-Zionist, but actually they are anti-Semitic. Although anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism are different things, but there is overlap. That's not to say that there is no overlap here. And I wish more people from my faith and race would just be honest about it. Debunking another of her false allegations that I have never spoken about Palestine. Please watch this. Oh my God, guys, so I have just seen Donald Trump's speech where he's saying that America is essentially going to take over the Gaza Strip. Now, what I would like to say, like I've said in the past, is I was pro-Palestine, and then I decided I'm not going to be pro-Palestine, and I'm going to take a more balanced view of the situation. So I'm not pro-Palestine at this point in time, and I'm not pro-Israel either. No. I feel like there are monsters on both sides, which I have condemned, and I feel like there are innocent people on both sides, and I pray for innocent people on both sides. And I'm the same feeling with that, actually. I would say, to really think about this topic, you need to tune into the humanity side, the human side of you. So ignoring the fact whether they are Muslims or non-Muslims, are they Jewish, are they Christian, are these people, they're humans. They have been bombed for more than a year. The situation in Gaza is absolutely dire and horrible. And now America wants to basically take over the Gaza Strip. But I would say there's two things. If you are looking at the Gazans in a very cold-hearted way, and you're not viewing them as humans just because you're pro-Israel, then I would say I'm really disgusted by you. But I'm also disgusted by the Muslims, because the Muslims have failed to lead. I'm going to say have a strong leadership in Gaza. They have failed the Palestinian people. And I do feel sorry for the Gazans, because they are humans, and they are going to have to endure more. Stood up to this about Palestine, because it seems like there's now going on. I went on the Andrew Gold podcast, and I put a picture up of him and me, and then I got all these horrible messages, anti-Semitic messages, saying that, you are partnering with the Zionists and the killing children in Gaza. And I've said a million times I condemn what's happening in Gaza, but I also condemn 7th October. Like, humans killing each other is disgusting. I condemn all of it. I don't care what race and religion people come from. But for them, it's like They will
And it's
accuse
not
you
the
of things. They
people of
can't
England,
accept that
it's not the
someone
people.
from within the community
You see, that's what
would
people
have
are
an
getting
issue
wrong on the other
with
side
anything.
with Britain.
And I'm
It's
like,
not
whoa,
the
like they
people
have a
inside
very,
England.
it's crazy mentality. It's
Not
all like
me,
she's
I'm
isn't
very
it?
tribal.
doing that to
Very
you. I'm
tribal,
not
very
going out
tribal,
doing
and
things to anybody.
there's not diversity in thought. It's discouraged.
You
So,
mentioned-
guys, as you can see, this
Oh.
person's tribal mentality, this whole thing, everything that she is displaying, I've
Probably all
already
do
spoken about
things
in my
wrong that we
interviews
make
on the
mistakes
Winston
of
Marshall
when we
show
do things.
and Andrew
But,
Gold's show. And if I'm
not
ever
going out
invited in
doing
the
things to
future
anybody to
on
do
any
anything
TV
to
program or
anybody.
any interviews, I'm going to be honest and truthful about the situation within
Yeah.
the Muslim community and the Pakistani
Thank
community. That's
you.
not to say that all Muslims are bad or all Pakistanis are bad. I am
No,
one
I'm
of
not
these
saying
people.
that either.
I was raised as a Muslim and my parents were born in
I'm not
Pakistan
saying
and I've
that
been in
either.
Pakistan many
And
times.
this isn't about
However,
race and colour
I
and
am
religion.
someone who's
This
very,
is
very
about
honest
people.
and I want to help improve the situation
Yeah,
for the
and
Muslims
so
and
do I.
Pakistanis
I
because
will
of course if
improve
things
the
improve for the
situation
community, they improve for me.
all the community. Like
Because I'm part of this
myself, my
community.
little
I
girl
don't
and
think
my
that I'm
little
better than
girlfriend
any of
need
them,
to
but the
help.
fact is that all of these
myself as
behaviours
well.
that this lady and the mentality that she's displaying, this is exactly what I've spoken
I have
about.
to be able to be
And
a
all she's doing is
soldier
proving me right.
and
Let's
for my
continue
granddad's
debunking. So
legacy.
she's talking about the
My
genocide
family's
in
legacy,
Palestine.
quite
Is
important
Gaza
to
the
the
only
family.
place a genocide is happening?
Well, what's going on with Gaza?
Gaza.
Well, you're probably going to hear nothing about the fact that one country has killed, executed more persecutions towards Christians than any other countries around the world combined, and that's
You know
Nigeria.
bad things are always going to happen. There's never going to be anything like bad. But I mean, to be honest with myself, I am sick of all this farce stuff. I'm sick of it. I just think can't they just give it a break?
Just this year,
Please, all
7,087 Christians have been killed, beheaded in many instances this year, just for going to church. Today we're going to talk about the events that are taking place in Nigeria targeted towards Christians.
Stop being selfish and just speaking about one group of people. There is lots of bad stuff going on all around the world, and your selective concern for a group of people, although of course I have sympathies for the people in Gaza and anyone else in this kind of situation in war, but it just seems that you have selective concern for the people of Gaza.
What about people in Ukraine?
And sadly, I do feel from personal experience, I can
that
say
go
this,
through
that
the
a lot of
same
people
thing
from
as
my race
Gaza?
and faith
They're
have
going through,
selective
in
concern
Ukraine,
for the
they're
people
going
of
through
Gaza
just
because they
as
do
much
see
in
it as a host
Palestine.
war. Is this
They
clown
are.
going to be honest about that? She claimed that I've never spoken about
They're
the Muslim issues,
trash like Palestine.
like the mosque burning.
The people
Really?
killed
Please
like
watch.
Palestine.
I'm going to quickly play the video of
of
mosque burning, which of course I condemn and is disgusting and
Or
horrible.
the men
Again,
from
the
Palestine,
term
from
that
Ukraine,
they
ain't even allowed to leave
use, the
Ukraine.
phrase is
Fucking men from
offended
over
by
there,
everything,
fucking coming
ashamed
here.
of nothing came to mind, with all due respect, when you were commenting, because
all the women there.
this live has been going on for 1 hour 41 minutes. It clearly says mosque burn following attack at synagogue, so we're discussing both things. We have spoken about the mosque being burnt. I did play the video of it in the beginning as well, and I had the video at hand again. So when you asked about it, and if anyone else wants to see it again, I will play it. I was under no obligation to speak about the mosque attack, but I did because it's important, because all acts of violence equally disgust me. So yes, I have spoken about Muslim issues as well. If you bother to follow my channel. So if you're not bothering to look at my content properly, and you have selective hearing, and you're picking and choosing which sentences you're going to focus on, then I'm sorry, that's not my problem. So as you guys can see, this collective victimhood mentality I've experienced in my personal life. I've experienced it with other Muslim influencers, and I've experienced it with regular people, viewers coming on my lives, and they're displaying the same mentality, and it's very, very scary. Collective victimhood. So this clown continues to talk about how Muslims are being persecuted and oppressed, and we have to go on our hands and knees and beg people. Really? Do you know what people from our race and faith are doing in the UK? Please watch this.
Now, we all know about the grooming gang scandal. Predominantly Pakistani men, predominantly Muslim, and predominantly from the region of Mirpur within Pakistan, systematically carrying out the group-based sexual assault of children up and down this country over years and years and years. Only now are we getting a full inquiry into what exactly went on, what the failings were that refused to look at this properly, how people who were trying to point it all out were shut down and not listened to for such a long time. But what hasn't been so discussed is why was this a particular problem within a particular community? Why were Pakistani men, and indeed why are Pakistani men? Because the report's author has been saying just this week that we know this problem is likely still going on in many towns and cities across this country. But why is it a particular problem for the Pakistani Muslim community in Britain?
Well, I can shed some light on why this issue has been going on for decades and why nothing's happening about it. Sadly, I would say, again, people from my race and faith have something to do with it, because the mentality that this clown has displayed, offended by everything, ashamed of nothing, that does not help deal with the groomers and people like that. This is the issue this is exactly why I speak up, guys. Because instead of creating an environment where these people can't fester, sadly, this victimhood mentality, this mindset of a clown, this kind of behaviour enables the groomers to do what they're doing, because they know that the majority of Muslims and Pakistanis aren't going to care. They're not going to care. They're going to be in their victimhood mentality. They're going to be trying to shut down people like me. There are very few people who are actually speaking up and condemning it the way it needs to be condemned. Sadly, people, I'm not saying they're doing it on purpose, but be it unintentionally, because they've got this whole victim pursuit mentality. What they don't realise is that they're continuing to create an environment where these horrible, disgusting people from within our race and religion continue to do these disgusting acts, because they know they're going to get away with it. And of course, the system has failed, like this country, the legal system, all of that. We all know that, right? All of that has been a failure. And really, we need to sort that out for sure. But I do have an issue with people from my race and religion who I feel are not helping the situation, and actually they're hindering it. It's interesting how this lady is pro-Palestine, and she's talking about how the Pakistani community, the Muslim community, they don't want anything to do with me, as if I want something to do with these people. But the interesting thing here is, I wonder what would happen to her as a pro-Palestinian if she was in Pakistan, because apparently in Pakistan very recently, the Pakistani authorities have apparently unalived pro-Palestinian people in the protests. Please watch this.
So we have a genuinely extraordinary story developing out of Pakistan that really almost defies belief. So walk you guys through this. Roll F2 here. Incredible amounts of violence unfolded outside of Lahore this week. These are policemen chasing down a pro-Palestine protester, trying to shoot him in the back. There's much worse video that has emerged online, though very, very little has been reported about this anywhere, whether it's Pakistan media, which is entirely locked down, or around the world. We are hearing that the death count could well be over 1,000 people, and just try to sit with the extent of the massacre that we're talking about here. Before we get into the details, the context here is that this started right around the exact same time that Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif was in Egypt with the rest of the Arab Muslim countries celebrating the ceasefire deal. And these things are not disconnected at all. Shehbaz Sharif is in power because they flagrantly stole the election back in February of 2024 and have Imran Khan in prison. The United States has been dangling the threat of supporting the release of Imran Khan to basically corner Pakistan's military. Pakistan's military is currently in control. They operate through Shehbaz Sharif, but they operate at the blessing, the courtesy of the United States, which at any moment could basically signal you have to let Imran Khan out. And so Pakistan's military basically is doing anything the United States wants as a result. So
I wonder how many of these British-born Pakistani Muslims who are from the pro-Palestine community will now condemn Pakistan, the country, for killing its own people who are pro-Palestine.
Yeah.
Do you know what? None of these grifters are going to speak about the real issues within the community. They don't have the guts. They don't have the intellectual decency and honesty to understand the issues and be honest about them. They don't have the guts. They're all sheep. They're just going to follow the same thing that everyone else has been telling them. Their parents, their friends, their families. They do not have the mental capacity or ability, I should say, the competence to be of an independent thought, to have an independent mind.
Because that's why they've got all them books and all that, like doing all the what
from
they're
what
doing,
we see from the regular shoot mentality.
With
so guys, I can go on and I can make a very long video about this clown and what she said about me, and I don't really care, to be honest, because there's not just one clown out there. There are going to be many, and a lot of these people are disguised as a moderate, peaceful Muslim, and all I can say is actions speak louder than words. If these grifters are more concerned about being apologists for the bad people from my race and faith, then it's time that they look in the mirror. Again, all I can say is offended by everything, ashamed of absolutely nothing. Well, guys, please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Consider joining as a member if you can. See you next time.
Oh, what a nice lady. Thank you very much for that. She's a nice lady, that lady. It's good. I like what she says. It's good. Yeah, it's interesting because, it's interesting that there's a Muslim lady speaking out with the truth.
I need to tell you something that's going to sound
you know, thank you very much to that lady. You know, because that's what we need. It's not just like you're saying, just fucking the lies. Just lying. Well, thank you very much from Caroline Poynton in Manchester. Berry!